evening and thanks for joining us. 6 men have been found guilty of sexually exploiting 7 young girls in Rotherham between 1998 and 2002. They deliberately targeted the young girls because they knew they were vulnerable and hung around outside their schools, the local park or at the bus stops to entrap them.
Masood Malik, Aftab Hussain, Abid Sadiq and Shiraz Hussain were found guilty along with 2 others who can't be named for legal reasons after a 6-week trial at Sheffield Crown Court. In a moment, we'll hear from the solicitor who represents some of the victims. But first, Mark Ansell has our top story.
The 4 men who destroyed the lives of 7 girls and brought shame to Rotherham. Masood Malik, Aftab Hussain, Abid Sadiq and Shiraz Hussain's crimes included the rape, indecent assault and abduction of children. 2 other perpetrators cannot be named for legal reasons. The court heard how the 7 vulnerable girls were deliberately targeted for the sole purpose of becoming sexual objects for the men.
We're obviously very pleased with the convictions and particularly pleased for the victims who have been so brave, often confronting something that happened many years ago now, even as far back as 1998, and they've shown great bravery to come forward and deliver their evidence.
This case is part of a much bigger, wider investigation into historic cases of child grooming in Rotherham. It's called Operation Stovewood and involves 200 police officers working day and night trying to bring perpetrators to justice.
Many became addicted to drink and drugs, having been introduced to these when they were very young as part of the grooming process.
Operation Stovewood was set up following the Alexis J report, which was published 5 years ago, uncovering the shocking scale of child grooming in the town between 1997 and 2013. The National Crime Agency estimates that in that time there were more than 400 grooming gang members who abused 1,500 victims in Rotherham. A total of 20 men have now been brought to justice for child grooming in Rotherham as part of the Operation Stovewood investigation. But the National Crime Agency say they're only a quarter of the way through their work. So there'll be many more cases coming to Sheffield Crown Court over the next few years. Mark Ansell, BBC Look North, Sheffield.
We're joined now by David Greenwood from Switulski's Solicitors. His firm represents 5 of the victims. Mr Greenwood, what's been the reaction from some of the victims you represent?
They're obviously pleased that these prosecutions have gone ahead and that convictions have been achieved. I think the girls that have been involved with the National Crime Agency, I want to congratulate them on the work that they've done. The National Crime Agency really have done some sterling work on working through these cases methodically, taking their time and doing a really good job and achieving convictions.
This is a familiar pattern, sadly, David. Vulnerable young women being exploited, historic cases these, but do you believe there's still a widespread problem in Rotherham and that this is going on today?
Certainly, if you were to ask anyone from the National Crime Agency, they will tell you that they are still working through many of these cases. This is just one minor gang that was operating in Rotherham between 1998 and 2002. There are others out there that they are still investigating and will prosecute. I think at the moment they are looking currently at more than 40 other suspects. Those are the ones that they have arrested so far, and there are many more out there that they will come across and have to deal with.
And you believe there are many more victims out there as well, because your firm represents 80 girls. How many more do you think there are?
That's right. We know that Professor J in 2014 identified 1,400 girls as having been affected by all this. The National Crime Agency and South Yorkshire Police have only managed to reach about 200 of them. So there are obviously 1,200 young women out there who have this in their past and maybe want to do something about it. I would say to them, take your time, find someone that you wish to disclose to. If you don't want to disclose to some official person, the police or the council, disclose to a confidant and get some good advice and some good support.
David Greenwood, thank you for joining us.